Hello everyone. I created this fun class to explore our culture and identity through art by making rice mandalas. And in this class, we will learn how to use rice for making mandalas after we understand the history of the practice, the importance of radial symmetry and use of breath in art creation. And we will also explore some contemporary artists who work with culture and identity as they create their own artworks. The first artist I wanted to explore is Kara Walker, and she's one of my favorites. And she created this work called Subtlety with 80,000 pounds of sugar because back in the day when the black people were enslaved, they were working on sugar plantations, and subtlety is something like only the rich could afford sugar at that time. But now, if you look, only the poor eat sugar, and the rich are very conscious about the health consequences of sugar. So she's commenting by creating this giant sphinx in the form of a black woman, uh, stereotypes and power dynamics and historical and cultural symbols and race and gender identity issues. The other artist I picked is Virkert Tirawania, and he's a Thai artist who brings people together in art galleries where it's mostly silent and individualistic. People look at art and go away, but he brings people together and cooks for them in art galleries, blurring the boundaries between art and life. And his work is very participatory, and he was one of the other inspirations for me for creating something socially engaged. And this is another artist, Joseph Gabriel, and I really liked his works where he creates these rice mandalas while connecting to his Filipino background and remembering the sound of rain as it would happen in the Philippines and his identity as a Filipino artist and the whole culture around growing rice as a communal practice. And so his work was one of the main inspirations related to how I would go about related to creating my rice mandalas. My family in southern India was rice farmers, and it's interesting and beautiful that all of our culture revolved around the growing of food, and our festivals were revolving around that. And it's pretty much the same in Cambodia and parts of China, where rice farmers are very community oriented. And our women would come out almost every morning and create these beautiful columns or rangolis out of rice flour, rice powder, and it's an ephemeral form of art. And it's so sad what is happening currently in this world. Modern farming practices have pretty much destroyed that sense of community and belonging and our identity. We don't have any connection with our local food sources, and there's so much loss of culture and traditions around growing food together. We don't even know our neighbors, and all of this is causing so much of loneliness, stress, anxiety, and depression because of that increasing disconnect that we face on a regular basis in our modern urban societies. For this class, you would need only a few simple things like a ruler, a compass with a pencil. If you need to make complex geometric shapes, then you can use a protractor, and half a cup of rice per student. I have created some ideation sheets which are attached to the website, and the link is on my page nocoartist.com. So after everybody is done with the ideation sheets and prepared their rough drafts for their mandalas, they would come together and decide what elements of each design students want to incorporate in the main mandala, as they would be divided into different tables where there would be 4 to 5 students per table, and they would all pick which design element they want to incorporate and plan a rough draft for the big mandalas that the students would be working together on. Once the students have agreed upon what common theme they want to create using the mandala, or what shapes they want to incorporate into the mandala, they can throw some rice down on the butcher paper or cardboard, or even just on the table, and either freehand the design, or you can have that final draft gently etched on the paper on which you're going to create your mandala, and then slowly start moving your hand around and creating that main central design. In this video, you can see that I'm gently trying to create a floral pattern, and I'm just moving my fingers around and gently pushing the rice down and slowly creating that shape as I move the rice around. You can use a little stick or forceps or tweezers to move the rice around, but it's up to you. If you feel like just moving the rice around with your fingers is therapeutic, that is fine and fun as well. Because I really enjoy using my fingers to move the rice around as I am creating this floral pattern in the center of the rice mandala, and you can gently be breathing deeply together as a group and telling stories about your memories with dishes from your family members, from your grandparents or great grandparents, or whatever memories you have. And as you create these rice mandalas, you can ask each other how your identity and your culture is tied to the food that you eat. And do I know my local farmers that produce the food here? What kind of relationship do I have with the people that produce food in the country? Do I know their race, their ethnic background, or do I just consume without being mindful about these kind of issues that we face in our communities? I recently found this book in the trash called Food and Color, and the color of food, and I never looked at food from that perspective, where we don't even know who is producing our food and how many uh, cultural and identity issues they go through as immigrants and food farmers in these places that we don't even know they're working at. And so yeah, if you can see this mandala now, it has gained more details. We have 2 concentric circles here. The one on the outside, I made it a little bit thicker, and the one on the inside is a little bit thinner. And I'm using these forceps or tweezers, and I'm really enjoying putting detail on my mandala using these tweezers, and now it looks like a fairly decent flower or floral rice mandala pattern. So you don't have to use the forceps. You can use any other tool, even a pencil, just to push things around, or just your fingers. And again, your mandala doesn't have to have radial symmetry if you don't want that. So this is my final mandala piece, and you can use this as an example to build upon or create your own. But I really hope that you enjoy working together as a group, creating these rice mandalas, sharing stories from your culture and your relationship with food and your identity, um, as it is connected to the food that you eat. And I hope it is a relaxing activity and that you enjoy getting to know each other a little bit more. And I would encourage you that you could even do this activity with your friends or with your neighbors, and it could be a communal event, just like the paddy farmers in different parts of the world came together and did fun activities together, like the women in India who created columns and rangolis and still do even to this day. And maybe you could even gather up that rice and cook one of your favorite rice recipes that you discovered. Again, just a reminder, don't forget to share your rice recipes with each other. And actually, I'm really interested in your favorite rice recipe, and I would love to have you share it with me. If you don't mind putting it in the comment section. I really hope you enjoyed this activity and that you would share this with others as well. I just wanted to end this class with two of my favorite quotes. One from Chef Ming Tsai: "Rice is a living symbol of Asian culture, representing sustenance, community, and identity on our plates." And I hope that the next time you handle rice or cook with rice, you would think of rice differently. And again, Kara Walker: "Challenging and highlighting abusive power dynamics in our culture is my goal. Replicating them is not." Those two were powerful quotes related to rice mandala creation. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.